What's up out there, Buffs fans? Hope you guys have had a good week. We got some good news yesterday. Now, some of you are not gamers, and so you may think that this video doesn't apply to you. You may not care about this, but I'm telling you, this is a big deal for our athletes. This is a big deal for Colorado football. It's a big deal for some of the kids that you love and support. So even if you're not a gamer, stick around because you may just learn something today. News about the EA Sports College Football 25 video game dropped yesterday, and there was good news for Buffs fans all over. I'm going to get to some of that, but I want to know down in the comments right now, are you buying this game? Are you excited about this game? Did you play NCAA 14 when it was out a few years ago, a decade ago now, or do you just not care at all? Tell me if you're getting this game, if you're playing, if you're going to play. Listen, if you're a fan of the Buffs, you're a fan of Coach Prime, I don't know how you're not playing this game with Cormani and Travis and Shador and Shiloh and Seaton and all the guys on the roster, McCaskill and Edward. I'm jacked about this game. And if you can't tell, we're going to talk about it a little bit today, but I'm excited to hear from you guys. Are you excited for this? Do you not care? Let's talk about it down in the comments. The first piece of good news for Buffs fans and really fans of all college football is that all 134 teams are in the game. That's 134 FBS teams. Will there be teams in the FCS? Will there be teams at other levels? I'm not sure yet. But if you're watching this channel, I assume it's because you like Coach Prime or you support the Buffs in some way or another. And I know from several of you in the comments that you have a first team, a team that you've cheered for your whole life, and then you support Coach Prime, whether that's because of him in the community, whether that's because you watched him in the NFL, whether that's because you just love the person that he is now. You have two teams, and that's fine. I have no problem with that. I am much like that too. But no matter who your teams are, if your team is Colorado and someone else or just Colorado, you will have your team most likely. Now, if you're an FCS or lower level, maybe not, but you're at least going to have the Colorado Buffs in it. And potentially, I know some of you are Michigan fans. I know some of you are Florida State. I know some of you are Gators or Canes or Alabama or Georgia. You're going to get your teams in here. And that is awesome. Could you imagine not having some teams in here? Could you imagine Nebraska not being in this game if you're a big Buff fan? Could you imagine some of the Pac-12 rivals that you've got not being in this game if you're a Buffs fan? Not being able to play and beat the crap out of your rivals? Wouldn't be super thrilled with that. The next piece of good news is that it is expected that most players will opt in to being in the game. Now, not everybody will, but there are roughly 11,000 players in college football at the FBS level, and it is expected that most of them will opt into the game. Now, guys cannot, and we won't hold that against them if they choose not to be in the game. I want to play the game personally more so for the actual game than any one or two players that are in it. But players can opt in, and it's expected that most will. A little bit of maybe not great news so far is that coaches are not in it yet, but they certainly could be, and I think they'll add them as time goes on and we get more and more versions or iterations of the game. But though Coach Prime may not be in the game from day one, you'll certainly feel his impact. One of my favorite things about the old game, the NCAA 14 that was out, was that there were certain things about the game that were true to just that one team. When you played as Florida State, they planted the spear at midfield. When you played at UF, there was a Gator there on the sideline ready to go. There was the UGA Bulldog that was there. When you played at Oklahoma, they came out on the wagon. And all of those traditions existed in the game. Do you not think that they'll do that for Coach Prime? Do you not think that we might see some celebrities on the sideline? You may not be able to tell who they are, but you'll be able to tell paparazzi, celebrities, well-off media maybe on the sideline, maybe put some of that in the stadium. It'd be really cool if they gave it a really unique touch, a really Colorado-specific touch when they create it. The best news to me about this so far, and the news is going to keep rolling in, we'll hear about more guys, but the fact that Travis Hunter has officially already opted in is massive. There were questions around whether or not Hunter would jump in, whether he wouldn't, whether the stars in college football would opt into this or not. And for the most part, they truly have. Some people talked about, oh, the payments are low. It's not worth it. It's not this, that, the other. Listen, Travis plays games. Travis wants to get behind the sticks and be controlling himself on offense and defense, probably 150 plays a game. He's never going to sub himself out to beat you guys' tail in EA Sports College Football 25. I'm excited that Travis is jumping in. I'm excited to see him play it. I'm excited for some of his players, some of his teammates, some of his brothers out there on the field to jump in and opt in officially as well. Some players are able to be ambassadors for the game, and obvious Buffs picks would be people like Travis Hunter, like Shedeur Sanders, like Shiloh, maybe Jordan Seaton and others who are highly rated, highly recruited, and really talented players. But this game is going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of fun for those of us who miss the college football game from 10 years ago. It's going to be a lot of fun if you want to play with your heroes. You have kids that look up to these kids and look up to these guys and look up to these athletes, and they are playing video games. I will never forget being a kid and being able to play along with my favorite teams, whether that was a college team, whether that was the Bucks here in Tampa, whether that was whatever. The Lakers was a big Kobe guy, getting to play Kobe Bryant as a kid. Now kids in the next generation are going to get to experience that, and they're going to get to experience that with some of these guys that we've mentioned. The Travis Hunters of the world, the Jordan Seatons of the world, the Shedeur Sanders of the world, the Shiloh Sanders of the world. And they're really going to have a blast doing it. And you think that the trash talk between the Colorado Buffaloes and inside the locker room and inside these well-off media videos and inside of all these other places, you think the smack talk is at a pretty high level right now. Just wait till you start to see some of the content coming around these guys playing each other in college football, in NCAA 25 or EA Sports 25. It will be on another level. It will be on a fever pitch of smack talk that gets talked, and it's just going to be one more opportunity that you get to see these guys' personalities really show through. It's going to be on another level of getting to see their character jump out. And I'm excited for it. I'm excited to watch this. I'm excited to see and hear from you guys down in the comments on what you're looking forward to with this. But man, I'm excited to see the kids on this roster going at each other when they're playing this game come late summer, early fall, doing this on their off days. I think it's going to be a ton of fun. Are any of you guys out there gamers? Do any of you guys... when this comes out, I will have it. And I'm happy to take on any of you guys that want that action. I promise you'll regret it afterwards, but I will take on anybody that wants it. Come on, hit the comments, let me know, and we'll set it up. Let me know down in the comments what you think about the game, what you think about some of the news that came out, what you think about Travis Hunter opting in. We'll talk about it all. I appreciate you guys. This is something a little bit different. I know you guys may or may not be gamers, but if you stuck around, thank you for watching the video, and thank you for hanging out at the prime time for college football.